So this week we're going to be taking our inspiration from the El Salvadorian art that I just showed you. And I think you'll notice that very bright colors and lots of drawings of nature and animals and that kind of thing. So what we're going to do is do a folk art bird. And remember that folk art is created by people who don't have formal art training. So I gave you two options, and first one is a side view of a bird on the ground, and then the other one is a flying bird. So the technique that we're using is going to be the same no matter which bird you ended up with. So we are going to use a black Sharpie. We're going to use our paintbrushes, our water, our watercolors. Let's see, what else do we need? I think that's it. Paper toweling, obviously. And so I've got this one finished, but what I want you to do, no matter which bird you have, is that I want you to trace over your bird, the lines of your bird, with a black Sharpie. I can't type it. I'm not saying that right. A black Sharpie. There we go. Until the lines that I'd already drawn are covered. So we're going to work with some patterns here for decorating our bird. So we're basically going to be doing different patterns in each of the little spaces that I've created for you. Okay. So you can go back with your pencil when you're done getting the lines that I've provided for you traced. So you have a really good view of what you're going to be doing. And you can make different patterns. We've done this technique before a couple of times, but it's always good to practice with pattern and line. Kind of keep our eyes and hands moving together. So I've got some stripes here, and I'm going to leave this part, the back part of the wing, just plain. And we can use, very simple patterns. You do what you are inspired to do. I'm going to do just dots on the head. And then when you're finished with putting your patterns on, and you can, take your time and make as many different patterns as you feel comfortable doing. Then you're going to go over these with, you can do it with just the black marker, or if you want to get out your other marker set, as long as it's not a washable marker, we need a permanent marker. Or you could use oil pastels to go over your lines. Okay. I got to put a good swirl in here. Now, if you're working with the other bird, you can identify some of the different shapes and spaces and just do the same sort of patterns that I'm doing on this one. And then you want to go over your patterns either with your permanent Sharpies. Crayon would work as well. Or you can just go with the black Sharpie that you've already got right in front of you. Go. There's a town in El Salvador by the name of El Taco, and they're known for their murals. In fact, a couple of the murals that I showed you previously are from that town. Let's see, I think I need another dot right there. Okay, so when you're done with all of this, then we have to think about the background. Okay, now this little guy, I'll switch over here. This little guy is on the ground, so you could do a lot of flowers in the background. So you want to design your background. I've got the sun back here. Like that. These can be just, you know, simple and loose. You can put things down on the ground if you want. And then you want to trace over these lines as well. Okay. Now this one is a little different perspective because it's flying. So what you can do is do like the hills that it's flying off, and down here would be the fields, right? We don't have the sun on this, so if you want to make a partial sun, you can do that. Down here, you can do some like small fields of flowers, different colors that you paint. So you can do sort of the same idea, but they're just going to be looking from the distance and down. Okay. So again, you can add anything that you want on here. Okay, so I'm going to come right back and I'll have my painting supplies out. Okay, so I've got my water and my paint brushes. I'm going to use the tube watercolor, and I'm going to start off with yellow for the bird, and then that'll be for the beak, and then this will be for another part of the bird. And I'm going to just take a medium-sized brush. I'm going to do the beak first. Now, you can make this bird any colors you want. You just want them to be nice and bright, okay? Make sure I've got the yellow out of that. And I'm not going to show you how to paint all of this because, one, I want you to use your imagination, and two, you all have enough experience with painting that you can experiment with by yourself on this or with your group. But the goal here is to make a very fun, colorful bird. It obviously won't be anything like a bird you've already seen, right? There you go. And clean out your brush. And the next part, I think I'll make it orange. And you can repeat, some of your colors. Like I might take this magenta color and put it on the wings or part of the tail or something like that. And we're going to leave that white for the white of its eye. And notice I got a little blue on that. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little darker blue. And I do that by not having as much water on my brush. And extend the blue here, and then nobody will see my mistake. All right. So I look forward to seeing the finished products here. And I hope you have a good time making beautiful El Salvadorian inspired folk art birds. Thank you.